Hi, I'm Jess, and we'll be doing a bit of a retrospective post-mortem on my fourth jam for GAM 702. This was a game jam with the theme of peace, and as you do with a jam themed piece, you choose an incredibly violent game and try to mod it. So, as such, I have started the process of creating a Fallout 4 mod. This is the first time I've ever modded any game. And I kind of, when we had the discussion about peace in groups within uni, immediately our discussion went to the lack of peace, fake peace, the disruption of peace, tense peace. And basically, we've just all learned that a lot of us are incredibly violent and are not very at peace with ourselves. Um, I've looked at modding before. I've always found it very intense, the engines that they're used in, but I've spent many hours watching lots of videos and help on YouTube and whatnot. So I've actually managed to create something, even if I've had quite a few difficulties along the way. Within Fallout, there is a company known as Vault-Tec, and they stepped in when the war broke out or right before to create vaults to keep people safe. Now, all of these vaults, essentially, apart from a few control vaults, had quite nefarious plans for the inhabitants. They weren't the best people. And I decided I would create a vault, an oasis of peace within a war torn country within the game. And it would be uninhabited, so it's nice and easy for the player. It's a little bit of a respite, a little bit of narrative and story. Now, this vault, ignoring the door, is actually known as Vault 702. The experiment that I designed for this vault was the prolonged exposure to peace and how that could damage or improve civilization and kind of some measures they took to achieve peace at all times. Um, So I've done quite a bit of narrative development for this game or mod. It is actually published on the store, well, not on the store, on the Nexus mod forum at the moment, so it is playable. I've just been informed that the ability to actually get down here into the vault is currently impossible as the teleportation seems to have broken. The plan going forward with this vault, which will be going forward as I've currently received some feedback already online, and quite a few people seem interested in the concept, is you start with the basic vault entrance, and then you kind of, by the time you're actually in the vault, it's more like a little city. There's going to be lots of water, plants, foliage, more buildings than just vault rooms. Anything really that could exhibit calmness, exhibit a sense of order, tranquility, to make people feel safe. I've looked into all other vaults, and there was one that is kind of the antithesis of this, which is psychologically profiled people who are the varying extremist views to one another were placed in tight quarters to see what happened, basically. This is kind of the reverse. Very agreeable people, very calm, understanding, empathetic people were selected for Vault 702 and placed in its confines. You access it through a maintenance hatch and supply line hatch on Spectacle Island, which is the hatch that is currently broken, which will be getting fixed later today. And it had an old subway system that came down, dropped people off, and it is one of the grander vault entrances underground. It's not murky. I purposely chose lighter coloured rocks. I wanted to reflect in the visuals that this isn't a regular vault. This is an oasis of sorts. Um, there's been quite a few struggles with actually just using the camera, to saving, to actually getting the mod to work. My filing system on my computer is a bit of a mess, which did not help that. So I've had quite a few technical problems, but the majority of the actual level design, I've started to get the hang of the clipping, rotation, scaling. and placement aspects. And I found myself to be really enjoying this. I think modding Fallout and Skyrim was something I looked at a few years before I actually took the course. Um, as well as Gary's mod, I downloaded the Hammer engine, I downloaded the creation kit for Skyrim at the time, and it was a nightmare going in. And it's very overwhelming, as I'm quite dyslexic, to see all this text and not really know where it's going. But I've managed to work through some of that. I found what I've needed to use personally in this project, and I've learnt where that is now. It is a very steep learning curve compared to some other engines. Once you get the hang of it, it does seem to come quite naturally. The way you play stuff, I still think the naming convention is a travesty for the most part, and the way they filed everything. But it's my first published mod, even if it is rather broken at the minute, and it is incredibly nice to actually get direct feedback from people I've never met who don't know me, and to get both critiques and to get actually something out there that people can play, other than the itch.io submissions we've done for uni. It's quite a boost of confidence for me. And I really hope I get the time to continue to do this over the next few months and potentially years, depending how large the project gets. I will be including terminals, logs, skeletons, and the entire interior of the vault, as well as cleaning up the entrance. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening, and have a lovely day.